official World Cup coverage on SJ Radio.
England makes history. Remember that. It's not going to happen anymore, is it? England through to the round 16 stage after beating Panama 6-1. And we've got more FA Cup, more World Cup action for yourself right now. Japan and Senegal take on for Group F. So let's join in. Japan, Senegal. It's a World Cup 2018. Game 2. And then we've got another match for yourself at 6 o'clock. Stand by.
The World Cup. This is
Side that they were better then, Terry.
No, not really. You try to concentrate on whoever you're playing against.
Trying to be nice.
No, I mean, there was a 20th minute. It was very precise, Tim. Very good. But, look, it's...
Did you never switch off at 5-0?
No, I want to go 6. I want to get 7.
Did you ever switch off at 5? Were you ever 5-0 up?
Switched off at 1-0, 2-1 down. Did you switch off?
Chris, did you ever switch on?
Yeah, good. I think there's no doubt England took the foot off the gas in the second half. But
that wasn't the 20th minute, was it?
No, but once they... second half start, the game was over, and naturally, players in the heat, it was conserving energy, just see it through.
Tim, thank you very much for getting in touch with us. Just to remind you that commentary of the F1 race from France is available online if you want to listen to that. Yeah. If there's anything that you've heard here that makes you suddenly want to go and listen to something else, then you can go listen to the F1 commentary online. Let's speak to Jeff there in the meantime. Jeff, how positive are you feeling about England after that result?
Really great. I've just picked up my winnings at the bookies. So,
even better.
Harry had a hat trick. I don't care how he did it, but he got me there. But no, I've been a lifelong Spurs fan and a lifelong England fan. I've been watching England since I was 10. Great side, great atmosphere, and the big question is, if we'd have gone to Russia with Mr. Allardyce in charge, would we have had the same atmosphere around the team? I don't think we would. And I went to all the Euro 96 games. Terrific team, terrific manager, good atmosphere. We were a bit unlucky. If we ride our luck and if luck's with us, I think we can go an awful long way.
How far?
I think we could get to the final and win it. I said right from the start, there's 2 dark horses.
I'm glad you're positive. Terry's not.
No, I think there's 2 teams in this, and one of them is Belgium and the other one's England, and we could end up meeting each other in the final. But I think Belgium are a team to be watched. It's been a terrific World Cup. It's been a fantastic World Cup for all the nations, the big ones, the little ones, and it's got everyone glued.
What do you think, Terry? Is Jeff right to be optimistic? As optimistic as he is?
I think you're every right, but
So we've won you round over the course of the programme then.
Well, I was round anyway, but Chris is telling me that, or saying that I've not been positive. I was just saying, look, I'm not going to say now we're going to win the World Cup, right?
You've just said it. The way we're going to clip it up, you've said it.
You can clip it up whichever way you want to.
Joke. We wouldn't do that to you.
It's just gaining momentum. Just keep on going, keep on winning. Belgium. Beat Belgium. See if you can beat Belgium. If you don't beat Belgium, don't lose to Belgium. But, just come out and then see who you get in the next round and just go game by game by game. That's all the top teams do, all the winners do.
So Gareth talked about maybe making changes against Belgium. Is that something you'd do,
yes.
Terry?
Yeah, I would. I'd put in Danny Rose to curb the threat of Mertens.
Would you not want to keep the continuity?
I would, to a certain degree, if they went through the heart of the team. And I would possibly look at Rashford for Sterling. I think Sterling, he missed the chance where John Stone scored right in front of the goal. Perhaps he's just going through that. He works hard enough, Sterling, but he's just the finishing. He hasn't probably got the, I don't know, has he got the sharpness? Has he got the I know he's got the desire, but I just think Rashford maybe would have put that one away or put other chances away. So maybe I would make the 2 changes.
Let's bring in Sven, who's calling us about the Belgium game. Sven, you've got a couple of minutes, maybe just less, to make your point. What did you want to say?
Yeah, hi, good evening to everybody there in the studio. Thanks for having me on. Just a quick question, really. Now that England have this opportunity that comes across very, very rarely, that you've already qualified after 2 matches, do you stick or do you twist with the team you've got? Do you go with continuity? Do you maybe tweak 1 or 2 positions? I was just hearing there that perhaps... I personally feel, for example, we don't have a left channel with Ashley Young playing at left-back. And I also feel Sterling's had 2 bites of the cherry now, and I feel it's time for Rashford to come in. But apart from that, I personally would stick with the strongest possible team going into the Belgium match. But how do you guys assess that? What would you do? Because I know from the past, certainly these are the decisions that are made by major nations that gets them right through to finals and ends up, who knows.
Terry, I think just quickly, Sven, because we're running out of time a little bit. Terry, they're the changes that you said that you would make for the game against Belgium.
Come on, Chris, what are you going to do?
I wouldn't change. No, I think it's a young team. I think it's had a fantastic start to the tournament, and there's an element of risk, of course, keeping your strongest 11 out. But I think a win against Belgium, the value and the confidence that would give the team, so I would stick with the same.
So they're sticking with this. Thank you, Sven, very much for getting in touch with us here on 606. As England beat Panama by 6-1. It means that as they get ready to face Belgium on Thursday evening, a draw, if there are no more red and yellow cards, would be enough for England to top the group. But everybody feeling pretty confident here that England can beat whoever's in front of them, can't they, Terry?
Despite what Chris says, I'm feeling very confident.
Thank you very much to all of you for getting in touch. Thank you very much to Terry Butcher and to Chris Sutton for joining me here in the studio. 606 has been a Shooting Sharp production for BBC Radio 5 Live. Now, up next on 5 Live Sport, the 4 o'clock kickoff is Japan against Senegal in Group H. England's opponents, whether they finish top or second, will come from Group H. Your commentary team will be Leon Osman, and it'll be led by Ian Brown. Hello, Ian.
Hi, Kelly, you're dead right. One of these could indeed be last 16 opponents for England. Certainly a very large possibility. These were the two lower-ranked teams when the draw was made for Group H, but both the Senegalese and the Japanese scored surprise victories in their opening games to blow the whole thing wide open. Whoever wins here will be big favourites to progress, but there is a possibility of a four-way tie in this group, which also includes Poland and Colombia. Japan field the same 11 that took their time to beat the 10 men of Colombia last Tuesday, so Shinji Okazaki of Leicester remains on the bench. Senegal make one change from their win over Poland. Diouf of Stoke is replaced by Njai of Stoke, and Liverpool's Sadio Mane will again, of course, have a very key role in this game.
Third place as it stands.
Leon Osman will be back for Japan against Senegal. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff in Ekaterinburg. Now let's head to France and get the very latest on the Formula One, the French Grand Prix with Jack Nicholls.
Well, it's all going straight forward, Kelly, for Lewis Hamilton. He's leading the way, and he started from pole position, but it all kicked off behind him at the first corner. Sebastian Vettel, his title rival, crashing into his teammate, Valtteri Bottas. Those two then dropped right to the back. They're having to climb their way up the order. Vettel's now back up into fifth position, so Hamilton leading, Verstappen second, Ricciardo third, and we've just been told that there's rain coming in 20 minutes as well, so a very exciting French Grand Prix.
Jack Nicholls, thank you very much for that. Let's head to Queens now for the latest from the final. Marin Cilic and Novak Djokovic with Russell Fuller.
And it's a very strange match, this, Kelly. Marin Cilic not serving nearly as well as he has been all week, but all the pressure for much of the set was on the Novak Djokovic serve. He saved 6 break points in his opening 4 service games, but now with Cilic serving to stay in the first set, he has set point down for a third time. He trails 5-6. It's advantage Djokovic, and in Birmingham, Petra Kvitova has just successfully defended her title. She's beaten Magdalena Rybarikova in 3 sets to win the title.
Russell, thank you very much. And finally off to Old Trafford to get the latest on the 5th ODI between England and Australia with Jonathan Overend.
England chasing 206 to win this and complete the whitewash, but they're struggling at 96 for 6, and everything hinges, you feel, on Just Buttler, who's been in excellent form in the series. He's 41 not out, joined by debutant Sam Curran, who has 3. We're in the 26th over. England still 110 runs short at 96 for 6.
England's opponents in the last 16 of the World Cup will come from Group H. Later on this evening at 7 o'clock, it's Poland against Colombia. Now it's time, though, from Ekaterinburg of Japan against Senegal with your studio-based commentary team of Leon Osman and Ian Brown.
Yes, thank you, Kelly. Good afternoon, everybody. These potential last 16 opponents for England are meeting in the most easterly outpost of the Russian World Cup, the Ekaterinburg Stadium, with its skyscraping temporary stands behind each of the goals. And I can tell you they're absolutely full of supporters. A very, very colourful scene here as the two teams march out onto the playing surface. It's not as hot as it was for the England match earlier, about 25 degrees. It's been a sunny afternoon. Most of the stadium now in shade, though, as the two teams line up for the national anthem. Both Japan and Senegal with 3 points from their opening fixture at this World Cup. 3 points against expectations. The first national anthem we hear will be the national anthem of Japan. Plenty of support around the stadium for Japan, and Senegal representing Africa at this World Cup, and the first African nation to win a match at the tournament when they beat Poland. This is their anthem. So we've got Japan against Senegal coming up for you here on 5 Live from the BBC. But before kick-off, we can go back to Queen's Club. It's the end of the first set in the tennis final there. Let's join Russell Fuller.
Novak Djokovic has always been famed for his defence amongst his other attributes, and that was really to the fore in the first set. Here he saved 4 break points, 6 break points, and then broke Cilic in the final game of the first set to take it against the top seed by 7 games to 5.
Thanks, Russell. We'll keep you right up to date with that. Lewis Hamilton is still leading the French Grand Prix. You can hear live commentary on that on the BBC website and via the BBC Sport app. And don't forget England against Australia, with England struggling in the 5th one-day international. That's over on 5 Live Sports Extra. Ball-by-ball commentary on that. So here in the match being played in Ekaterinburg, I can tell you that Japan are unchanged from their victory over Colombia. They played more than 90 minutes of that match, actual playing time when you add on stoppage time, more than 90 minutes, with a one-man advantage. Eventually they made it tell with a 2-1 victory, and they're unchanged. Akira Nishino, the coach of Japan, who took over late on, just 2 months or so before the start of the tournament. He has Kawashima in goal, and then a back four of Sakai, Yoshida of Southampton, Shoji and Nagatomo in midfield. The very experienced captain Makoto Hasebe in his 3rd World Cup. He's alongside Gaku Shibasaki, and then the wide men Haraguchi and Inui, and Shinji Kagawa, once of Manchester United, plays in behind Yuya Osako, who scored the winner with a header against Colombia, which means that Okazaki of Leicester City, who has been struggling with a bit of an injury, is again only on the bench. He did come off the bench though late on in the opening day victory for Japan. As for Senegal, well, they're quick, athletic and battle-hardened in the top European leagues. They had a bit of luck against Poland, some Polish pantomime defending in that match. That was 2-1, and they make one change. Badou Ndiaye of Stoke City comes in for Mame Diouf, also of Stoke City, and this is the lineup. Kadim Ndiaye in goal, and then across the back, Youssouf Sabaly, Salif Sane, Kalidou Koulibaly and Moussa Wegu. In midfield, Gana Gueye of Everton, Alfred Ndiaye and Badou Ndiaye. Up front, it's Mbai Niang who comes in off the wing. He scored that second goal against Poland when he kind of snuck back onto the pitch with the referee's permission, of course, and went through to tap the ball into an empty net with Poland in disarray. And then the two wide men, the 20-year-old rising star of Senegalese football, Ismaila Sarr, and then the current star, you might say, of Senegalese football, Sadio Mane of Liverpool. Senegal are all in white for this second match of the group. Whoever wins here, Leon Osman won't definitely be through, but they'll certainly be in a very, very strong position.
Yes, absolutely. Coming into this tournament, both teams would have been delighted to be going into the second game with the possibility of almost securing the passage through into the round of 16. So there's an awful lot to play for today. If they go about this job correctly, if they can be victorious in this game today, what a fantastic achievement that is after just 2 games for either of these two countries.
Yes, one of them could qualify today, depending on the result later on, when Poland play Colombia, also on 5 Live at 7 o'clock. This is a 4 o'clock kickoff. UK time, it's a 4-hour time difference, so 8 o'clock local time in Ekaterinburg, which is deep into central Russia, where Europe meets Asia in geographical terms. And we are underway with Senegal in possession on the near side with Sarr. Hits it up the line, it takes a deflection off the Japanese defender Nagatomo, and it's out for a throw-in for Senegal. Senegal, all in white then, are playing in this first half from left to right. Japan are all in blue, their traditional blue. They're right to left, and they're defending at the moment, with Shoji being forced under a little bit of pressure to turn the ball aside. Out for a throw-in, advanced position for Senegal down the right-hand side. So 0-0, and the teenager Wego comes forward to take this throw-in for Senegal, one of the youngest players in the tournament, receives it back onto his right foot and then plays another neat one too. It's across the Japanese penalty area, and they have to stretch to make the challenge, and it was just about away by Yoshida, and Senegal start again about 35 yards out. Wego gets another opportunity, seeing a lot of the ball, the young right back. He's supported by Ndiaye, and his pass goes astray. Out for a throw-in for Japan. Early encouragement for the Senegalese supporters.
Yes, absolutely. Wegu making great runs down this right-hand side, getting an opportunity to get an early ball into the box, fires it in low, and Mane just about gets on the end of it, tries to take a first touch and swivel and hit it, but as you said, Yoshida was quick to react, and chance goes begging.
Japan trying to launch their first attack of the game, a foray down the left-hand side led by Osako, who headed in that winner against Colombia. He's won a throw there, taking on the defender who stood his ground. Rich green playing surface, just a few shafts of sunlight through the structure of the stand being displayed on the pitch, and a throw-in near side for Senegal to take. Wegu hurls it up towards the halfway line and beyond halfway, and here's Niang overlapping his Sarr, the youngster, to the dead ball line. He's only 20 himself, and he has won a corner as the tackle comes in on the slide from Nagatomo, and enterprise with the two youngsters on the right hand side from Senegal, and they win the first corner.
Yes, very positive start from Senegal today. They look very powerful, very pacey. 2 occasions now in the first 2 or 3 minutes they've got down the side of this Japanese defence and forcing opportunities on both occasions, and the Japanese will just have to be aware that they need to match the Senegalese physically today to try and keep them out.
So a corner from the right, it will be an outswinger. Lots of physical presence inside the box for Senegal. It's in towards the near post, it bounces right across the box. It'll be collected on the far side by Gana Gueye. He'll play it in, right-footed, headed away at the near post though by Japan. Sakai with a clearance. It comes as far as Niang, curled back into the box, and again Japan clear it away. Might have been a touch of handball there by Inui in midfield for Japan, but he gets away with that, and then he's barged over in the back, and that's a free kick for Japan inside their own half. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC World Service across Africa. Senegal, who reached the quarter-finals of the World Cup in 2002, their only previous appearance in the finals, only a golden goal in extra time scored by Turkey stopped their progress then in Japan and Korea. They've waited a while to make their mark, and they're determined to do so here. Here is Nagatomo for Japan to Shibasaki, and then to Kagawa, to Nagatomo again on the near left-hand side. He's being pressed back there, certainly harrying the Japanese at every opportunity are the Senegal team, but Japan work it wide to the far side, and the ball is played up the far touchline by Inui, and now there is support from Haraguchi, but he is harried off it, and Senegal have got it with Ghana Gay. Senegal trying to show composure inside their own half, and they stroke it out to Sarr on the near side, and then on to the lanky figure of Niang. Niang taking on the defender, and it runs off that defender, Genshoji, for another corner for Senegal.
Well, again, the Japanese look pretty in this early part of the game, getting in spaces and trying to get in between the lines of the Senegal midfield to play on the ball. But every time Senegal get the ball back, they play it forward as quickly as possible with direct passes into Niang on this occasion, who just runs down the side of the centre half, outpaces him, outstrengths him, and forces another corner for his team this early.
It's going to be taken by Niang, the player who spent some time at Watford, now with Torino. Scored his first ever goal for Senegal, which was the second goal against Poland. That was back on Tuesday. He takes the corner. The two centre-backs are up inside the penalty area. It's a poor one, scraped away from the near post area by Nagatomo for Japan, and then a long-range effort from all of 35 yards comes in from Sabali, the full-back, and flies way over the Japan crossbar, and they have a goal kick.
Oh, it's a poor effort from Sabali. The poor clearance from the Japanese from the corner just came 15 or 20 yards outside the penalty area, and at the moment Senegal are on top. All he needs to do is play it wide, get it back wide where he's got a player either side, and they can get another ball into the penalty area. But you know, when you've got your right back shooting from all of 35 yards this early in the game, you know it's a poor decision.
It remains 0-0. And we played just under 6 minutes here on 5 Live from the BBC. The World Cup Russia 2018. Japan with a long ball flighted out towards this near side, and Inui cannot keep it in play. It was overhit. It runs behind in the end for a goal kick. He was certainly stretching, got his toe to the ball, couldn't keep it in play, so it's still 0-0. Earlier, England 6, Panama 1. Quick thoughts on England, Leon?
Oh, fantastic display. I think we were all expecting England to win that game, but to get 6 goals, to do 5 of them in the first half, the manner they went about the performance was better than probably most of us were expecting. To maybe concede that goal in the end just took a touch of gloss off, but what a fantastic performance and a hat-trick for Kane.
Yeah, lots more reaction to come. Here comes Senegal with the ball in towards the near post, and well clutched out of the sky by Kawashima in the Japanese goal. The cross wasn't the most accurate from Sabali, and it was easy pickings really for the keeper, but both the full-backs getting forward and urged to get forward in the early stages by the Senegalese coach Alois Cisse, former Birmingham and Portsmouth player, who was actually their captain in that World Cup I referenced a few moments ago in 2002. So captain in 2002, and good to see an African head coach taking charge of an African nation at the World Cup. They quite often import Europeans, as we know, to take charge of the African countries when they get to the World Cup finals. Free kick here for Japan, though, 10 yards beyond the halfway line. Hasebe is going to take it, the skipper. In fact, he runs away now and leaves it for Shibasaki. They're not the tallest, Japan. They have to be clever from these set pieces, though Yoshida of Southampton is inside the box. It's planted high above his head out towards the far flank and cleared away by Senegal rather easily, all the way back to Hasebe, and he decides from the halfway line to funnel it all the way back to his goalkeeper Kawashima, and it remains 0-0, and we're in the 8th minute as Ghana Gay of Everton wins the ball. Was the referee happy with that challenge? I think he's given a free kick. Garner Gay, who won more tackles and duels than anybody else in the Premier League last season, more than N'Golo Kante. In a disappointing season for Everton, he was one of the bright sparks.
He was, himself and Jordan Pickford, the two, well, that's the right word, bright sparks, the two pleasing things to come out of the season for Everton. And he's been a consistent performer for 2 seasons, and it's no wonder that he's getting spoken of so highly still in Senegal itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's number 5 in the heart of the midfield for Senegal? Breaks things up, but gets forward as well. And they're coming forward now with Sarr on the near side, the 20-year-old, to Wegu. Into the edge of the penalty area. Niang holds it up, back to Wegu. In comes a cross, should be cleared away on the stretch, and is by Sakai for Japan. But straight onto the instep there of Sane, the giant centre-back for Senegal. They've got 2 huge centre-backs. Salif Sane, who is based in Germany, about to join Schalke, and Kalidou Koulibaly of Napoli, being heavily linked with a potential move to Chelsea. 6.5 feet of him. Koulibaly, very cool customer at the back for Senegal. Let's go to Old Trafford. News of England's progress, or lack of it, against Australia. Jonathan Overend.
Yes, stumbling. 7 wickets down now, England. 114 for 7. Sam Curran, a breezy 15 on debut before nicking one behind off Kane Richardson to the wicketkeeper Tim Payne. Stood his ground though, Curran. Needed to be reviewed, but definitely nicked it. And England still some way short of their victory target of 206. Are 114 for 7 in the 30th over.
And commentary over on 5 Live Sports Extra. Don't forget the French Grand Prix is online at the moment. We've got everything covered one way or another on the BBC. And the tennis is on BBC 2 television as well. The final from Queens. The ball is hit long and diagonally by Japan, and it floats straight out of play, which presents it back to Senegal. The African team have certainly made the brighter start in this game. Remember, the winners, if there are winners, will go on to 6 points in the group. They were the 2 lowest ranked teams in the Group H draw when it was made in the Kremlin last December, and both burst onto the scene here with victories. And Senegal with an attack with Sarr down the right hand side, clubbed away by Japan, but they were panicking a little bit at the back there, and they gave it straight to Njai for Senegal. And now here they come forward with Koulibaly, high ball right across to this near touchline, perfectly weighted, and into Niang inside the penalty area. Wegu with a cross now to the far post, back-headed away, not the best of headers away, and the shot into the near post is in the net, and Sadio Mane got in there ahead of the goalkeeper. A goalkeeping error, I would say, by Kawashima, but there was Sadio Mane, the Liverpool striker, right in front of him to get a nudge on the ball and send it into the corner of the net. It's Japan 0, Senegal 1. They've been the brighter, they've been the sharper, and they have the breakthrough.
Well, it's a shocker, an absolute shocker from Kawashima in the Japanese goal. It's just a high hung-up ball from Wagyu to the back post. First of all, it's Haraguchi, a poor header away, tries to flick it on at the back post, heads it straight into Sabali, who's come in at the back post, and he just has a low shot, and he's aiming for the far post. It's about knee height, and the goalkeeper, for whatever reason, tries to punch it away instead of just scooping it into his midriff, and he punches it straight into Sadio Mane's knees from about a yard away from him, 3 yards out from the goal. He just punches it into him instead of scooping it up. It ricochets into the back of the goal, and 2 mistakes from Japan inside the 6-yard box leads to an early Senegal goal.
Yes, weird and not so wonderful goalkeeping by Iji Kawashima for Japan, and they've given away the softest of goals. And remember, he let one slip in, didn't he, low down from that free kick against Colombia in their first game.
He did. It's definitely what you don't want, your goalkeeper making mistakes, costing your team goals. But I was about to say before the goal went in, this is a bit of a mismatch today physically. The Senegal team are head and shoulders. It's like an under-16 team against an under-13 team with regards to size out there today. If Japan have got any aspirations of winning it, they've got to be clever, they've got to move the ball quickly and get in pockets of space, because every time Senegal have attacked so far, they've just gone shoulder to shoulder with the Japanese, and they've won every physical battle. Niang has just got the ball up this wing, and he just keeps getting in behind this Japanese defence, just out muscling them.
Yeah, he's done the same again there, Niang. He has forced A rash challenge from the Japanese player, but at least he got the ball. It will be a throw-in only for Senegal down this near side. So Senegal leading by 1-0. Remember, they were 2 up against Poland. It finished 2-1 in the end, so they're full of confidence. And Niang bashes one in towards the near post, and this time the goalkeeper from the angle is able to hang on to it. He caught it this time. But what was he doing earlier? I've never seen a goalkeeper actually trying to punch the ball out when it's only, 2.5 feet off the ground?
Well, goalkeepers over the past probably 5 or 10 years have just got into the habit of punching everything rather than scooping it in. The art of catching things for goalkeepers is slowly going out the game, and I can't think of a more important time to scoop the ball into your body and keep hold of it when it's knee height in the 6-yard box, pretty much straight at you. He's tried to punch it, and he's just punched it into the incoming striker, who's Sadio Mane, into his knees, and he finds his team 1-0 down.
So the Liverpool man claiming his 15th goal for his country. Senegal are in front as we go back to Old Trafford, and Jonathan Overend.
2 wickets in 2 balls. Liam Plunkett out for a duck, caught behind by a diving Tim Payne. It means Kane Richardson's on a hat-trick. Here he comes bowling to Rashid, who's forward and defends safely, but England in big trouble now on 114 for 8. We're only in the 30th over, still way short, Ian, of that victory target of 206.
So still Harry Kane, the only player with a hat-trick so far today, scoring 3 for England, 2 penalties and 1 that bounced in off him. Who do you think knew the most about their goal? Harry Kane with his 3rd, or Sadio Mane with this one here?
I would say Mane, to be honest. At least he was facing the ball. He was trying to make a noose of himself in front of the goalkeeper. We were all delighted that Harry Kane managed to get his hat-trick today, but I'm pretty sure he knew less about it than anybody else on the field.
There are 2 penalties and a deflection for Harry Kane, but they all count, and it means that Harry Kane has 5 goals, leading the Golden Boot race. Let's go to the French Grand Prix, the Formula 1, an update from Jack Nicholls.
It's still Lewis Hamilton leading the way, 5.3 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen in 2nd, Ricciardo in 3rd. Sebastian Vettel, after crashing on the opening lap, has managed to climb back up into 4th position. But as it stands, Hamilton would take the championship lead.
Thanks, Jack. Commentary continues online. We've seen Japan launching their first effort on goal. It came from Makoto Hasebe, the captain, from outside of the penalty area. He made decent contact, actually, but it was well blocked by the defender. I think it was possibly Sane in the route of that one. It remains 1-0 to Senegal.
Well, it was much better from Japan, though. They moved the ball really quickly. They didn't let the Senegalese team get close to them. They kept in the pockets, kept in the spaces, didn't allow that physical attribute to deny them their attack, and they opened up the defence, and they need to continue to do that. Move the ball at speed to create opportunities.
First shot of the game for Japan. Senegal have already threatened 4 times, and they struck after 11 minutes. Sadio Mane on target. Still to come on 5 Live this evening, Poland against Colombia. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff UK time. Poland and Colombia both on 0 points. If it's a draw, by the way, in this game that we're watching now, and a draw in that game, it would open up the possibility of all 4 teams in this group finishing with 4 points and the same goal difference, which would be an interesting one to sort out. But it's not going that way at the moment, because Senegal have the advantage in the sun-blessed stadium here in the shadow of the Ural Mountains. And Senegal, all in white, a long way from home, have got possession. It's back with their goalkeeper, Kadim Njai, who plays across the border in Guinea. Their only player actually based in football in West Africa, with club football in West Africa. He clears high up over the halfway line, headed away by the defender Shoji for Japan. It alights in midfield for them, and Kagawa lets it run for Osako. Osako out wide to the far side, and coming forward it's Sakai from right back. Now it's played into the box towards Osako. It was massively overhit, and the goalkeeper Kadim Njai dived, but deliberately let the ball go by, because he knew it was going to be a goal kick for Senegal. And Senegal, apart from that one effort from Japan, looking fairly comfortable, as we see another replay of that goal, which won't have gone down too well in those watching in Tokyo.
Absolutely not. Again, you can see the frustration on Kawashima's face once he realised what he's done. Mane didn't seem to know an awful lot about it, but wheels away in delight, and sometimes that's what happens in football.
Wagyu gets it back to his goalkeeper for Senegal, and Njai, all in yellow, will just dribble the ball to the edge of the penalty area. No real rush about Senegal at the moment. They've made the perfect start with that goal after just over 10 minutes. Again, it's a high hanging ball through centre field looking for Mane, and Niang is onto it, but the flag was up for offside. Our referee, by the way, is from Italy, Gianluca Rocchi, and the VAR official back in Moscow is also Italian, so communication shouldn't be a problem if it comes to that.
Well, quite often in football, especially these days, you're looking at how to break down the opposition and you're trying to find ways about it, whether to get in pockets, whether to stretch them, to get out wide. Senegal today they just need to back up against the Japanese centre-halves. Just getting Yang up against Soji, just knock the ball up to his chest, because the physical mismatch, beg your pardon, is ridiculous. He's rolled him every time. Soji can't get close to him. It could be just so old school, so old-fashioned, just to knock the ball up to a centre-forward and play off him.
Well, Colombia were expected to outmuscle Japan. That plan went astray right at the start of the match, of course, when Sanchez was sent off for that handball for Colombia. Senegal have not suffered any ill fortune in the opening stages of this one. Into the second set in the final at Queen's. Russell Fuller watching the tennis.
And Novak Djokovic in the ascendancy, having won the first set against the number 1 seed Marin Cilic by 7-5. It's on serve in the second with Djokovic 3-2 up, but he's been putting the pressure on the Cilic serve, saving 2 break points in Cilic's opening service game. Is he about to win his first title for 51 weeks on tour?
Yeah, Russell will tell us. He'll keep us right up to date with that, of course, from West London. Here, a free kick in central Russia. Free kick for Japan to be taken right-footed in towards the heart of the Senegalese penalty area. A little bit of a double ricochet before Senegal are able to clear deep into the Japanese half, and it will run over the touchline on the far side. It's allowed to run by Nagatomo. Throw in for Japan. Taken back to their captain, Hasibi, who does play deep in between the two central defenders when necessary. Now it's Shoji, one of the regular back four. Up it goes now to Kagawa. We've seen very little of the playmaker, the former Manchester United man, now at Borussia Dortmund, but Japan have made good progress now down the right hand side, and Sakai was sent tumbling over very close to the corner flag, and Japan have been awarded this corner, I think, as the tackle came in from the fullback Sabali, and a corner for Japan.
Yeah, it could quite easily have been a booking. The ball was running out for a corner to Japan. Sakai was just trying to see it out, and as you said, Sabali came over and flung himself at the ball. I wouldn't say it was a two-footed tackle, but both feet, the momentum of his tackle certainly wiped Sakai out as the ball was rolling out for a corner, and could certainly have been a yellow card.
Corner then for Japan, which they've taken short. Kagawa was chopped down, I felt, there by the defender, but the referee sees nothing wrong, and Senegal are bursting forward with Sadio Mane up over the halfway line on the left-hand side. He's 20 yards inside the Japanese half, plays it into Njai. He's inside the penalty area to the dead ball line, scoops it across. No takers in the middle in white shirts for Senegal, and it runs all the way out to Wagyu on the near side. In comes another swept cross, and then the shot on the turn from Ndai is straight at the goalkeeper Kawashima, who's able to dive away rather flamboyantly to his left-hand side, but he holds onto the ball.
Well, it's devastating pace on the counter-attack. The speed at which they go box to box at the minute. You've got Sarr, Niang and Mane. The pace of the three of them once they do realise they're on the counter-attack is frightening. They had a cross from the left side that was unfortunate. Nobody was able to get on the end of, and then a cross straight away from the right side, which Niang directed on target, I think it was. So, yeah, really strong pace on that counter-attack, and that's a way for them to maybe get the second goal in this game.
Well, we're just about halfway through the first half. Japan 0, Senegal 1. This match in Group H of the World Cup in Ekaterinburg Arena, the most easterly point of this World Cup in Russia. And England earlier on today made sure of their qualification for the last 16 when they beat Panama by 6-1. It also meant that Belgium were definitely through, and it will be England against Belgium on Thursday evening to determine who finishes top of that group, and the winners of that group will play the runners-up in this group. So England-Senegal is a possibility on the horizon, perhaps, Leon Osman?
Absolutely, but as you mentioned before, any of these four teams in this group could still potentially go through. The two, what you call underdogs, won the first games. You'd expect Poland and Colombia to have a right good go at each other later on today, and who knows the way that game will go. So this group is still wide open today.
Sabali has got it for Senegal inside his own half into Ghana Gay, who's muscled off the ball, and the Japanese do need to get in a few tackles. That one was ill-judged though by Haraguchi, and it's a free kick for the Senegal in the mid-section of the pitch. Senegal leading by 1-0. Kagawa needs to retreat a few yards, so this can be taken. They need to get Shinji Kagawa onto the ball a bit more just to get things ticking for Japan, and they do have to play more intricate football, don't they, on the floor to overcome the more physical specimens in the Senegal team.
Well, they do. Every time they've matched up with the Senegalese today, they've just been out-muscled, and sometimes you can't compete in that way. Physically, it's not going to be the way to beat the opposition. They've got to be clever, they've got to pull into pockets. They can't let Senegal players match up against them physically, because there'll be only one winner in that today.
Here's Wegu, near side for Senegal, halfway inside the Japanese half. He's on the right, just in front of the Senegalese manager or head coach, Cisse, with the dreadlocks watching on. He's the youngest manager at the World Cup at the age of 42. Proud of his team at the moment. Long ball played up to the edge of the Japanese penalty area. Comes to Njai. Two Njais in the midfield, by the way. One who played for Wolves last season, the other who played for Stoke, Alfred Njai and Badu Njai. And Diouf of Stoke City left out for this game by the Senegalese manager. Here now is Nagatomo for Japan with the dyed blonde hair. The fullback plays it wide to Inui. Nagatomo continues his run, whips in across towards the near post. That was a bit better. Cisse was underneath it though to clear away for Senegal. And now up the near side comes Niang, who is trouble on the ball. Or at least it's trouble trying to get the ball off him. He's big and he's strong, and he was trying to get the better of Shibasaki, and Shibasaki was pulling his arm back, and that has to be a free kick.
Well, that summed it up right there. A ball up to Niang, who looked like he had a poor touch. It looked like it was too close to Shibasaki for him to take it off him, and he just completely out-muscled him, used his arm, got around him, and got his team a free kick. And I say it again, but the physical mismatch is staggering.
I wonder if it's all over at Old Trafford. Jonathan Overend.
No, not yet, and Josh Buttler will very much hope this has still got plenty of legs in it, this match. He's England's highest average scorer in the series, and he's still there. He's made a 50, and again 52 not out, Buttler. Rashid has 2. England are 123 for 8. We're in the 33rd over. They need 206 to win.
Yeah, long shot, but still firing away there. Commentary over on 5 Live Sports Extra. Here Senegal have got another corner, and a couple of these corners haven't been the best so far from Mbai Niang, but he still has the responsibility of taking this one on his right foot. It'll curl away from goal. Salif Sani is one of the targets in the centre, 6 foot plus, the Hanover central defender alongside Koulibaly. The referee will be watching out for some shirt pulling. We saw that penalty finally given for shirt pulling at a corner in the England game earlier on. So Niang to take it. Up he comes now, thunders it to the centre of the goal, and in there trying to get a head on it was Njai, and Shibashima has been fouled as he tried to drag it clear, and it's going to be a free kick for Japan inside their own penalty area. The foul by Alfred Njai of Villarreal, who played a part in the promotion to the Premier League of Wolverhampton Wanderers. So, Leon Osman, we were worried. 30 matches without a 0-0 after England's goal fest, but we have managed to bring the nation a goal here. Senegal 1-0 up.
Yeah, and it's, I would say, a deserved lead at the moment. They started the game on the front foot. They've been getting the ball forward as quickly as they can. And creating opportunities. Japan are just growing into the game. They've realised how they've got to go about this. They can't get touch tight with this Senegalese team. They've got to play in pockets, they've got to be clever, and they've got to have good movements. And as I've said, the Senegalese have been on top so far, but Japan are starting to grow into this game.
Throw in for Japan, as Leon Osman was saying. The Japanese just beginning to get a little bit of a grip and a feel after the I suppose, a bit of a shock to concede such a soft goal, with the goalkeeper punching the ball from very low down straight at Sadio Mane, who was in the right place to just stand his ground, and the ball went in off his leg, off his knee, for the opening goal from close range. Japan tried to thrust forward, but cleared away by Njai for Senegal to the halfway line. And Sakai gets a touch, finds Shibasaki, and that's a long ball forward looking for Inui. Nice header away though by Sane. Salif Sane gets it away for Senegal, and they survive for the time being. But Japan will pick it up again on the halfway line with Shoji. He squares it to Shibasaki, who's come deep now into the centre circle to roll it forward to Kagawa and out to the near side, and Hasebi wearing the green captain's armband. Japan all in blue, playing from right to left. 5 Live from the BBC and the BBC World Service across Africa. They'll be happy in West Africa at the moment, with Senegal in front by 1-0. We played for 29 minutes. Kagawa for Japan out to the far side, and Sakai onto Hiraguchi, but across comes Koulibaly, and Koulibaly shows excellent control to take the ball towards the corner flag and then clear it away deep, and then it breaks kindly again for Senegal to presumably complete the clearance. Koulibaly's got it again, back to his goalkeeper, and he strikes through the ball right-footed up to the halfway line, where it's a bit of a no contest in the air between Niang and the defenders. And although Shoji did get his head to the ball, he couldn't control the defensive clearance under so much pressure. Out for a Senegal throw, and their supporters are very colourful. Their faces are painted, their whole bodies are painted actually in whites and the national colours, the red and the yellow and the green of Senegal, who lead 1-0.
Yeah, both sets of fans are enjoying themselves, making a lot of noise, dancing and singing at both ends of the stadium, and both teams at the moment are giving their all and trying to win this game for them.
The final group matches across Russia begin tomorrow, including the host nation Russia playing their final match against Uruguay. That will determine who wins their group. We know that Russia and Uruguay are already through. 3 o'clock commentary on that one on 5 Live tomorrow afternoon. Russia, Uruguay, France, Croatia, Belgium and England are the countries through to the last 16 so far. Senegal and Japan both with a bit of a platform after winning their opening games, and Senegal 1-0 up against the Japanese in this second fixture for the two countries. Japan, who had a very turbulent build-up to the tournament, changing their head coach 70 days before it all began, after a bit of a falling out between their coach from Bosnia and the Japanese FA over the fact he didn't use some of the more experienced players. And one of those, Kagawa, is in the team here, but Okazaki and Honda remain on the bench for later. Okazaki of Leicester, if he's fit, you'd imagine they'd want to get him into the fray in the second half.
Yeah, potentially, but he was a substitute in the first game, come on for the last 5 or 10 minutes, did affect the game, but Honda especially, when they brought him on, really did have an effect on that first game. The positions he was getting in, his delivery from set pieces, really turned the table for Japan, and I would expect them both to be on at some point in the second half.
Here's Yoshida for Japan, who've defended well there on the edge of their own penalty area. A couple of players, one from each team, are down injured at the moment. It's the Senegal player who is staying down the longer, and the referee has blown his whistle. Sadio Mane, the goal scorer, is the player who was on the receiving end in that tussle. Just fell a little awkwardly, didn't seem to be too much in it. He was pushed ever so slightly by Sakai, though the referee saw nothing wrong.
No, it was a coming together from a long diagonal pass over to that right back for Japan, left wing area for Senegal. A coming together, fell on the floor. Whereas Mane did fall on the floor. He scraped his elbow down Sakai's boots, and he seems to be in a bit of pain from it, but certainly not a foul.
Play will resume now that the referee has checked on the well-being of Sadio Mane. He is going to be fine.
As I said before, Senegal started this game really well. They were running this Japanese defence, getting down the channels, really causing them problems in the wide areas especially, but whether you'd say they've stepped off a touch or Japan have grown in confidence, but for the last 10-15 minutes especially, Japan have dominated possession really had a big chunk of it, knocking the ball around for passing, getting in the pockets that they need to, rather than matching up against this Senegal team, and they're starting to work themselves into good areas.
Yes, and the stats for possession have just eased into Japan's favour, 51-49. Here's Kagawa, very deep, not really influencing the game too much at the moment. Yoshida will roll it short to Shibasaki, and Shibasaki with a right-footed long diagonal ball to Nagatomo inside the penalty area. The left back is onto it. Inuai will score. It's a brilliant equalising goal for Japan. Takashi Inuai, the man who scored it after superb approach play by Nagatomo. And just when we said Japan were getting back into the game, they conjure up the equaliser with a very crisp right-footed strike from deep inside the penalty area from Takashi Inuai. It is Japan 1, Senegal 1, and we can see the Imperial Princess of Japan, and she's applauding the goal, and why should she not?
Well, I said they were growing into this game, figuring out how to get at this Senegal team, and it's a long diagonal ball from Shibasaki over the top to Nagatomo in this left back area. He's got in behind Wagyu in this area. He's probably got a touch lucky with his first touch. He's tried to bring it down. It's rolled in between two Senegal players in the penalty area. Felt it Inouye. And Inouye, he's tried this a couple of times in the last few games, just getting the ball onto his right foot and bending it low into that far corner. And he does it this time perfectly well. It just sneaks in past that far post. The keeper can't get there. And Japan have grown into this game over the past 10 minutes, find themselves level.
Yep, that's what he does. Comes in off the left, strikes it right-footed when he gets the opportunity. Inuai making it Japan 1, Senegal 1 after 35 minutes. And Senegal were well on top in the opening 20 minutes or so, but we did mark the card of the listeners by saying that Japan were getting right back into it.
They were. It was as if they were shocked for the first 10 minutes how physical Senegal were and how they were struggling to keep up, especially running the channels. They just couldn't get near them, but a good team figures the opposition out, and for the last 10 minutes they've just played in pockets. They've played 3 yards away from the Senegal midfielder. They've not allowed them to get tight enough to use that physicality and make it effective, and they've started to make the Senegal team go deeper and deeper and not get near them. And yes, possession-wise, they've grown. They've started to get in pockets, and that long diagonal ball from Shibasaki was fantastic over the top to Nagatomo. As I said, I think he got a touch lucky with his first touch, but Inouye didn't. He didn't get lucky at all. He hit his shot fantastically well, killed it. It looked like it was going wide, but it had enough bend just to keep inside that far post. Goalkeeper had no chance, and as I said, I think they deserve to be 1-1.
Yeah, no questioning the quality of the strike there from the Spanish base player to make it 1-1 in this match in Ekaterinburg, and it's hit long and diagonally again by Japan, this time down the right hand side, and Hagakuchi comes into the edge of the penalty area, needs a bit of support. It's there from behind him from Hasebi, and the skipper out wide to the far side. In comes across from the right hand side looking for Kagawa, headed away by Senegal. They need Ghana Gay back there on defensive duty to help it further away outside of their penalty area, and here now is Niang on the near side for Senegal, but all of a sudden Japan are biting into their tackles, and Niang was getting a bit frustrated and deliberately kicked out at Kagawa, conceding a free kick for Japan. And Senegal need to keep their cool, keep their heads.
Yeah, they've just lost their way a touch, and as I said, Niang, who was bossing Shoji for the first 10 minutes. Shoji's just started to be a bit clever, just staying off him a yard, and as Niang tries to turn, he pounces on any loose touch. On that occasion he won the ball, and Niang got frustrated because of it and gave the free kick away. So very clever play from Japan.
OK, to France very quickly, an update on the Formula 1, the French Grand Prix. Jack Nicholls.
Lap 50 of 53, so very much in the closing stages. Hamilton still leading, 4.5 seconds clear of Verstappen. Kimi Raikkonen's charged through the order and is now in 3rd place for Ferrari. Hamilton's title rival Vettel is in 5th place.
So certainly a chance there for Lewis Hamilton to go back to the top of the drivers' standings, and that's over on the BBC website. Here's a chance for Saar to play the ball into the Japanese penalty area, headed away by Yoshida of Southampton. And now Nagatomo, the man who played a part and assist in the goal, he's lost it on the edge of his own penalty area. Now it's Saar thrusting forward for Senegal towards the dead ball line, but that was very well defended by the experienced Hasebi. The skipper for Japan got goal side of his man didn't touch the ball and was able to police it away for the goal kick.
Fantastic central midfield players. His left back just got in a little bit of trouble. Nagatomo just got underneath the ball. I think it was Niang or Sa who just got around him, and Hasebe just spotted the danger. He came over into that space behind his left back, covered him. Sa thought he was going into the penalty area unchallenged, but Hasebe spotted it, came over and saw the goal, sorted out for a goal kick to his team. Fantastic central play from him.
Yeah, turning out to be a decent game now, 1-1, and we played for 39 minutes on 5 Live from the BBC. And here are Senegal with Sa, plays it in field to Ndai, and that's a good ball forward for Niang, who gets goal side of the defender who was sleeping, gets away the shot, and it's saved by Kawashima, the goalkeeper, off his line. Looked to be slightly in no man's land, but in the end he made amends for his earlier error leading to the goal by spreading himself and making the block.
Well, when you're as physically powerful as Niang is, it just takes one quality ball down the side of the centre half, just like happened then. I think it may have been Ndai who played the ball in between the left back and left centre half Shoji of Japan. Niang just turned and chased after him. Nothing complicated. He just used his strength to outmuscle him and get a free shot at goal, and it was a really good save from Kawashima in the end to deny him that opportunity. But when you're as physical as Niang is, any kind of quality ball and you can find yourself in on goal.
Here's Hasebe up to the centre forward for Japan. Osaka, who spread it wide to the far side. Haraguchi comes in onto his left foot and lifts the shot over the top of the bar from about 20 yards. And he apologises for being so wayward. It remains 1-1. Let's go back to the tennis and Russell Fuller.
Marin Cilic has just saved a championship point. Novak Djokovic taking the first set 7-5. He had match point to take the second set 6-4, but an ace and 2 big serves means it's now 5 games all.
Thanks, Russell. Just seeing a replay of Niang's shot. Pretty close to the goalkeeper in the end.
Yeah, it was. The goalkeeper came out quickly to narrow the angle down, and Yoshida probably just put enough pressure on Niang, but it was very easy how they got in. And you know, Japan have got to be aware of that defensively, and from a Senegal point of view, I'd be trying to just slip it down the side of them centre halves as often as possible.
Haraguchi for Japan. The game is opening up a bit. Sakai back to Shibasaki in low to the edge of the penalty area. Laid back again to Hasebe, and now out wide to the full-back, who's always willing to come forward. Sakai exchanges passes with Haraguchi. All of this is inside the Senegal half, although Japan patiently are prepared to go backwards to the centre circle just to keep control of the ball, and their passing game is beginning to click now, and they are buoyant after scoring that equalising goal. It is 1-1 in Ekaterinburg, in the Ekaterinburg arena in Russia. Shoji with a ball to Kagawa for Japan. I think they've now perhaps passed the ball 100 times more than Senegal in the opening 40 minutes or so.
Possibly. I mean, they deserve great credit, because when you find yourself 1-0 down for an early goal, sometimes you can lose your way. It's difficult to, first of all, to steady yourselves, to make sure no other goals go in, but then to get a grip of the game like the Japanese have. They're dominating the game at the minute. Possession on the halfway line, not just in their own half. They're trying to pick pockets, getting Inouye in off one side and Haraguchi in off the other. Kagawa's starting to have more of an effect on the game, and at the moment it's the game is being played in the Senegal half, and considering how the game started, that's great credit to Japan.
Yeah, Japan 1, Senegal 1. A look at the watch tells us we've played just under 42 minutes. We'll be rounding up all the latest from the Formula 1, the tennis and the cricket at half-time here on 5 Live. Don't forget the climax to the Grand Prix is online and on the BBC Sport app, and the cricket on 5 Live Sports Extra. Here is Senegal with possession. Sabali is the fullback who loves to get forward. Sadio Mane is okay after that bang he took about 5 minutes or so ago. Just plays it sensibly back to the halfway line, and then it's hit long to Sabali, who's in at the corner flag area here for Senegal, drives it against the covering defender Sakai, and it's out for a corner for Senegal. And these set pieces, you would imagine, in theory, carry a major threat. Though some of the deliveries in from the corners they've had so far have been fairly poor from Senegal.
Yeah, it's all about delivery and movement inside that penalty area. You saw England over their 2 games. The delivery and the movement has been fantastic. Despite the size of this Senegalese team, they've had neither so far today, and that's why they haven't created any opportunities really from corners.
Badu Njai of Stoke City is going to take the corner from the far side in his blue boots. It's a low one, I think deliberately low to the near post this time. The back heel was attempted by, I think it might have been Sane, was it, up from the back? Either way, he didn't make contact on the ball and it was cleared away. Let's go to the end of the Grand Prix then in France, and Jack Nicholls.
Lewis Hamilton is driving towards the final corner on this Paul Ricard circuit. He started on pole position. He's dominated it from the front. His championship rival Sebastian Vettel crashed with his teammate. Vettel will only finish 5th, but Hamilton out of the final corner wins and retakes the championship lead after victory at the French Grand Prix. A superb drive from Hamilton, dominant, and he's back in the lead of the championship.
Thanks, Jack. Yes, Hamilton leading from lights out all the way through to the flag there as the French Grand Prix returns to the calendar. And Lewis Hamilton said he might have been slightly distracted wondering about the England score in the football. Well, he's had a good day all round, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been a great day for Lewis and for any Lewis Hamilton fans. England winning this morning convincingly, Lewis Hamilton winning this afternoon convincingly. It's been a good day.
England 6, Panama 1. If you've been out paragliding or something and have missed the coverage earlier on. Here, a free kick for Senegal. It is 1-1. We're into the last minute of the first 45. And it will be played in right-footed. They're looking for offside, the Japanese. The flag stayed down as the ball was launched into the box beyond the far post. It was headed across there by Niang, and the goalkeeper's got it. And I'm not sure whether the flag went up at all there. It should have done. How many were offside? About 5 of them offside in a line. Let's say if they'd scored from that, VAR would have said no.
I think nowadays assistant referees or linesmen are told to keep the flag down initially to see how the move works out, and if VAR is needed, they'll use it. But Japan just held the line just as the free kick was about to be taken. As a unit, they all ran up, played probably 6 or 7 players offside for Senegal, and yes, the linesman didn't put his flag up, but yeah, I think he was waiting. It was obvious that many of those Senegal players were offside.
Yes, the computer definitely would have said no once the VAR officials had looked at that. Had the ball gone in the net, but it didn't. It is still 1-1, and Inui, the man who scored the equalising goal for Japan, gets a little touch on the near side, doesn't make much progress. Cleared by Senegal. The ball is bobbled out of play in front of the 2 technical areas for a throw-in for Senegal, all in white. 1 minute added on at the end of the first 45 minutes, and we've had most of those 60 seconds already, and we're all square. None the wiser at the moment between Japan and Senegal in what could be a very, very tight group. As I was saying earlier, could be a 4-way tie if this ends in a draw and the match later ends in a draw, and then Poland and Colombia win their final matches. That is half-time. It is 1-1, and a fair enough reflection. Senegal started well, got a bit of a lucky goal after the goalkeeping error, but Japan hit back.
Yeah, it was actually a really good first half. Senegal started really well, scored an early goal, albeit from a shocker from Kawashima in the Japan goal. But from that moment on, I thought Senegal might take the game away from Japan. They were dominant at that point, but massive credit to Japan. They steadied the ship. They made sure they didn't concede anymore. Grew in the game as it went on, possession, keeping the ball, and started to work out how to affect the Senegalese team. And they did that on a couple of occasions, and justifiably got that equalising goal. So 1-1 at half time. Both teams have certainly contributed to the game, and I expect to see more of the same in the second half.
Yes, all square. Japan 1, Senegal 1.
Ian and Leon, thank you very much. We'll be rejoining them for the second half of Japan's match against Senegal in Group H. That's the group from which England's opponents in the last 16 will come. Terry Butcher is here in the studio. We've had people getting in touch on social media. Terry Rich said, I said the long ball forward would be away from Japan, and they scored from that one. It lifted the Japanese, and now Senegal are on the back foot. Danny says, though, mark my words, Senegal will be the surprise team of the tournament. But Senegal haven't lost any of their previous first 14 international matches in which Sadio Mane has scored. Can you see them losing this one, or do you think it's pretty evenly balanced, Terry?
No, I can see them losing because I can see them scoring as well, but losing at the back, their defence is their Achilles heel. They're very strong going forward. Koulibaly and Sane, the two centre halves, don't look great. The two full-backs, Wage and Sabali, they don't tuck round enough, and with the keeper as well. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about that. If England do end up playing Senegal, then they might well do in the next round, the round of 16. Then I can see Harry Kane filling his boots again. The only thing is, they are very strong going forward. Niang in particular is strong, quick, got a good eye for a goal, and Mane scored, albeit he didn't know much about it. He has scored in the competition now. So I would fear, of that group, of the Group H, I would fear Senegal the most.
But you did say that Harry Kane could fill his boots potentially against Senegal, and we will hear from him with John Murray before the second half. What were you saying?
I was just saying, on this day, June 24th, in 2004, England lost a penalty shootout to Portugal in Euro 2004, but Harry Kane had his own penalty shootout today and scored 2 from the spot, so perhaps that was
encouraging signs perhaps for England as they maybe progress through the tournament. At the moment though, Japan won, Senegal won at half time in Ekaterinburg. We'll rejoin Ian Brown and Leon Osman for the second half of that one, and we'll hear from Harry Kane before the second half of that game. Now though, let's find out what's happening in the cricket with Jonathan Overend.
Well, it's all getting very interesting now at Old Trafford, which is good news for England fans because they were in awful trouble at 86 for 6 and 114 for 8. They're now 157 for 8. So remember, they need 206 to win this final ODI and complete the whitewash against Australia. As predicted, Jos Buttler is leading the
official World Cup coverage on SJ Radio.
Unfortunately there, guys, we have to leave for the second half, unfortunately. Japan 1, Senegal 1 at the moment. We'll give you updates. Of course, we've got live coverage, hopefully, with Poland and Colombia. That's at 7 o'clock, but for now, guys, we'll go sit out there.